region rankings. Things may shift in national and state rankings. But you just have one of the best teams in 7A playing one of the best teams in 6A. One has to win. We were on the defeating side of it. It was just a good game. I think you do learn, like Coach Freeman said, and this is what he will build on for that second half of region play into the playoffs.
Matthew, we look at the big picture typically after a game like this one. However, there are key details, especially that took place in the second half of this game, that's going to have some that are a part of the Thompson Warriors wanting some of those opportunities back. A couple of unfortunate situations and a couple of big plays made by Clay at pivotal times to put this one in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, one of the last things that you ever expect to see from such a phenomenal quarterback is somebody that's able to sneak up behind him. Now, he's got such great field awareness. He almost like he has eyes in the back of his head. That is one of those things that is just so unforeseen. And not only to have one player there that was able to tip that ball out of his hands, but once it gets tipped out of his hands, it lands right in the breadbasket of a lineman who is not only huge, but has unbelievable speed. And yes, and then there were a couple of calls that I'll be interested to watch the replay.
Yeah, it's good to see that the Auburn and Oklahoma officials have gotten work. What I'm going to say is this, and that is that Clay has immense speed, and they're able to take advantage of that, especially in the open field. And it came down to just a couple of those moments where they were able to get massive yardage plays. This one's going to be one that's going to make the Warriors better, though. A 28-24 loss if you're joining us here on the Warrior Nation Network.
And when you mention that speed, let me point out one more thing. What an unbelievable job. Clay Chalkville had one of their fastest men on the field, wide open breakaway, and Micah Fleming chased him down from behind to stay with it, but to show that speed. I thought that was a great play by that young man.
And we could have very much went into overtime after that play was made, because I would love to see a replay. We haven't had a chance to see a replay of that touchdown call there in the back of the end zone and whether or not that receiver was in bounds. I would love to see that played back for us here. We don't have the monitors on the road, but I know there's some strong opinions about that play already out there. We want to thank Podo's for their sponsorship. Are you looking to score big on style this season? Podo's Boutique has you covered. From game day looks to everyday favorites, you'll find the perfect outfit to keep you looking sharp. Shop the latest trends and timeless pieces at Podo's Boutique. The winning play for your wardrobe. Visit Podo's Boutique at 4570 U.S. Highway 31 in Calera, or give them a call at 205-668-0515. A dominant first half for the Thompson Warriors. In the second half, some mishaps, especially there in the third quarter, that helped Clay seal the deal. 28-24. Thompson headed back to Alabaster with the loss here out of region, but there's still so much ahead of them. When we look at the season ahead, we will continue to do that right here on the Warrior Nation Network post-game show, once again presented by Podo's, HCR Cabinets, and Saginaw Pipe.
Podo's Boutique is a proud sponsor of Thompson Athletics. Ladies, are you looking for a casual and cute outfits, accessories, or the newest fashion trends? Podo's has you covered. Follow us at Podo's Boutique on Facebook and Instagram, or stop by our store on Highway 31 in Calera.
Welcome back into the Warrior Nation Network post-game show, presented by Podo's HCR Cabinets and Saginaw Pipe. It's now time to unveil our players of the game, presented by HCR Cabinets. HCR Cabinets and Countertops is a proud supporter of the Thompson Warriors. We're going to begin on the defensive side of the ball. Brian, who is our HCR Cabinets defensive player of the game?
Regardless of how much is on that scoreboard, the defense is still one of the more fun units to watch in Region 3 and will still be a force, even though the numbers are going to go up, those points per play and all that. I love the line play. I thought we got to the edges as good as we could. But a guy that I thought we said a little bit more than others with some big plays, Terry Robinson. The young man just started to come around. He's only a junior, 5'11", 170. But it just seemed like he was in the right places tonight at big opportunities. So even though you have to be the defensive player of the game in a loss, and that is tough, Terry played great. And I would be interested to go back and see how many of those big stops and how many of those big kind of momentum-shifting plays Terry was involved in, because we got excited when we talked about Terry. He's your defensive player of the game tonight.
Now time for our HCR Cabinets Offensive Player of the Game. Couple options here.
Couple of options, and at halftime, this was easy. Trent Seaborn was going to be lights out on his way for almost 400 yards. But at no fault of anybody, but maybe just the tightening up of the Cougar defense, 5 possessions in the second half, only 3 points. I'm giving tonight's Offensive Player of the Game to Ethan Black, because for the whole season, to live in the shadow of, oh my gosh, how are you going to replace a big leg of John Ella McGuire? For a moment, we had the 3-point lead going to win this game. And I don't care how much he's practiced that short distance kick in practice, when it's game time in a game like this, Ethan drilled that field goal. He had a touchback when they had backed him up on a penalty. So Ethan, who has been consistent all year, call it the season-long award, but for tonight, while we can't really decide on that offensive player, Ethan Black finally gets an Offensive Player of the Game for his consistency tonight and for the rest of the season.
And that kick was from the right hash mark.
Tough
and for
right
a
kicker.
right-legged kicker, that is a difficult angle. He drilled it. He couldn't have put it more dead center than he did.
You didn't even highlight his best player of the night when he stood up for himself
When he-
on the kickoff and decided, you're not going to mess with me here. And
We're a family, man. We'll protect the little brother.
Jerry Hood
Love
Field.
it.
But yes, congratulations to our players of the game. Well deserved. Are you looking to level up your kitchen, bathroom, or laundry space? HCR Cabinets and Countertops is Birmingham's go-to specialist for prefabricated, semi-custom, and fully custom cabinetry. With an abundance of colors, finishes, door styles, countertops, and hardware, they design for new construction, remodels, and commercial projects across Birmingham and Central Alabama. Visit the showroom for ideas or call 205-669-9550 to schedule your free in-home consultation and design today. We'll be back with the word of the game presented by Matthew Moyer. It's all happening right here on the Warrior Nation Network postgame show presented by Podo's, HCR Cabinets, and Saginaw Pipe.
Chick-fil-A, the inventor of the chicken sandwich, has reinvented breakfast. The new Egg White Grill has citrus grilled chicken, fresh egg whites, and American cheese, all served on a toasted multi-grain English muffin. Chicken for breakfast. It's not as crazy as you think. Chick-fil-A, a proud partner of the Thompson Warriors.
28-24, that is the final score here from Jerry Hood Field, as the Thompson Warriors have come up just short here on the road at Clay Chalkville, and they will take the loss on the year as Clay Chalkville remains undefeated, going to 6-0. The Warrior Nation Network postgame show once again is presented by Podo's, HCR Cabinets, and Saginaw Pipe. When it comes to steel and pipe, Saginaw Pipe Company is always in the winning position. With over 40 years of experience, the Southeast's largest inventory of structural steel and tubing, and custom cut-to-length and fabrication services, they're the go-to play for quality, service, and value. Make Saginaw Pipe Company your one-stop source for all your steel needs. Call 205-664-3670 or 1-800-433-1374 today. All right, Matthew, one word to describe tonight's game. Let me have it.
Growth. And I'm going to give you a couple of reasons for that. Number one, going to be able to grow and learn from this experience tonight. As Coach Freeman talked about during the coaches show, as Christina mentioned in her final words tonight, this is an opportunity for them to play a really good team, to have some great film and some growth and learning opportunities for it, number one. Number two, do you not think that this coaching staff has the undivided attention of every player in that locker room now? You mentioned during our pregame show 141-3 in our first 3 region games. All of a sudden, a team starts to think, boy, oh boy, we can do this every time we step onto the field. Once in a while, when you go out and get smacked in the mouth, it's a great growth opportunity because that coaching staff's going to have the undivided attention of every single one of these players. The other word that I almost used was fine. We're fine. We are right where we want to be. We are undefeated in the region. There's nothing lost. We lost a football game, but we haven't lost anything in terms of where we want to be, and that is December.
And if I know anything about the maturity of the growth of these young men, it will be a long bus ride home. Heck, I got to ride home with you, Matthew. We'll probably dissect and talk about this. And tomorrow at work, it'll probably not be fun for me. But then I'll sit there and say, what did we really lose tonight? A game, like you said. A scoreboard, a pitcher, and the opportunity to celebrate on their field. If that's all we lost tonight, this will be gone and out of our minds by the weekend. Come Monday when they hit that field house, come Saturday or Sunday when they hit that field house, it's Husky time.
I also like the fact that we get 1 extra day to rest, make sure that everybody is healthy, because we are on the road 1 week from tomorrow night, and Hewitt-Trussville is a very tough place to play.
Let's get to that. This is the Road to the Super 7 presented by Coca-Cola. Let's take a look at how the Warriors are trending and where they're going, as the Road to the Super 7 certainly runs through Warrior Stadium. Once again, a win to start off the season against Carver Montgomery, a loss on the road against Grayson in overtime, where we decided to go for 2, came up a little short. Tuscaloosa County, a 69-0 victory. Oak Mountain, a 41-0 victory. Vestavia Hills, a dominant 35-3 victory last week at home. And coming up just short here, the only thing tighter than the margins on the sidelines was the margin on the scoreboard. 28-24 there. Clay Chalkville gets the win, a game that came down to the wire. But everybody is looking forward to that Hewitt-Trussville game a week and a day from now. Brian Pavlik, when you look at this Hewitt-Trussville game, Hewitt-Trussville's flying high right now, and they want to be that clear, deciding force in this region. Tell us a little bit more about this upcoming matchup next week that everybody should try to make the trip to.
This is going to be interesting to study during the week, Matthew.
Yes.
Because they lost their quarterback early, and all they have to replace him are 2 coaches' sons. Who better that knows his offense than his children? So they have been going back and forth. One of them is the starting middle linebacker.
Correct.
So it's going to be interesting to study how they use their run-pass option with a pretty decent running back. He goes by Deuce. You will hear him a lot next Friday night.
Yes, you will.
But what do you do if you're Thompson? I look at this as the all-star break.
Right.
Yeah, it was just a break in region play. Now it's fun time. Because your next 4, if you don't mind me, even looking ahead past Hewitt. Hillcrest, no distractions there. It's only homecoming. Then you got to go to the Met to play Hoover. Then you got to go to Prattville. There's still a lot to be played, but the biggest game in the region, so saith the schedule right now in the standings, next Friday night at that Trussville exit that is just a pain to get off and onto.
And when you look at those next couple of games, we all know that Hewitt is going to be a whale of a game. Then Hillcrest. Oh, what did they do? They went into the Met on homecoming and came out of there victorious. So that's why I think it's just so important that these guys have the undivided attention of every player on this team starting about 15 minutes ago.
The kids these days, they would say lock in. It is lock-in time right now for your Warriors.
No scores to report in region, as Hewitt-Trussville will take on Pinson Valley tomorrow night. Parker will take on Hoover, and Hueytown will take on Hillcrest. We'll be monitoring those games, obviously, as we're getting set for even more region
I also
play.
want to say another fun one, if you're just in the mind of watching, Central Phoenix is going to play IMG Academy. So we know what Central can bring to the table because we seem to play them in the last game of the year every year. So if you want to watch another good game of nationally ranked, kind of like what we were with Grayson about a month ago, that would be a fun one to watch too. So good football, good action, a lot of out of region, but by all means, you're in for some great games like you saw here tonight.
Matthew, if you bought a ticket to tonight's game, regardless of which side of the field you were on, you left with an entertaining game between two juggernauts that lived up to the hype. And that is something to be proud of here with the product that we see here in high school football in the state of Alabama.
Now, there's no doubt about it. I knew coming in that this was going to be just an unbelievable experience. It was last year as well. And for people that aren't familiar with that game, Clay Chalkville, 8-minute-plus drive on their opening drive, scored, and then did not score again until we got to overtime. This one had a little bit more offense, but a back-and-forth affair right down to the very last, minute and a half when we had 4th down and 10. And the reason we had 4th down and 10 is because no one could reach their flag in the corner over there, but that's okay. But, Tim, you're exactly right. This is what it's all about. This is why you schedule games like this, because this is an experience, no matter what uniform you are in, an experience tonight that these young men will never forget, playing in these big games.
It's hard to physically get around this field, this stadium, and it looks like it's going to be a really tough challenge to get out of the parking lot. But that is exactly what we're going to try to do. Guys, it's been an honor to be here with you tonight. Matthew, I'm going to give you the final word.
Well, just very quickly, because they didn't have a chance to log on earlier, I'm just so incredibly proud of my folks. They're 60-plus years. They're going to celebrate their anniversary on Sunday, the 28th. Forgive me, Mom and Dad, you guys are listening. It's either 63 or 64 years, and that is no doubt about it. And happy birthday to our son, who will be 14 on Saturday.
A lot of celebrations happening this weekend there with the Moyers, and we wish everybody the very best. We appreciate you sharing Matthew here with us on our Friday and Thursday nights on the Warrior Nation Network. That's going to do it for us. This has been the Warrior Nation Network postgame show. Final score, Clay Chalkville 28, your Thompson Warriors 24, but a gutsy performance. We recommend you check it out there on the NFHS Network. We appreciate you all season long at ThompsonWarriors.org and right here on the THS Facebook page. Make sure you check out the Coaches Show coming up with Matthew Moyer, Coach Mark Freeman this Wednesday night, broadcasting on that Facebook page.
Correct.
Right there ahead of what is going to be a heck of a game with Hewitt-Trussville a week and a day away. Absolutely.
Yep.
And food as well.
Yes.
Once again, this has been the Warrior Nation Network postgame show.